Nigeria is in the grip of a kidnapping epidemic. Heavily armed gangs terrorize cities, towns, and highways.
These are some of the weapons that we have recently recovered from bandits. Well, we don't even use this in the police.
They seem to take anyone at will.
This is the evidence of beating. I was tortured.
Ordinary citizens, businessmen, even kings.
Our people are really touched, and the pain is unquantifiable.
With the Nigeria police ranked as the country's most corrupt institution, no citizen can feel safe from the kidnappers.
It was terrifying. I felt that was the end for me because I had never seen a gun to my face like that, not so close.
How many people would you say that you've killed?
I've killed more than 50 persons.
But the new anti-kidnap unit, led by Nigeria's most famous cop, Deputy Police Commissioner Abba Kyari, claims they are the answer.
The whole country and the state are looking up to IRT to see that these guys are arrested and brought to justice. And we'll see to that.
They say they'll clear out the gangs and bring back the rule of law. But are innocent citizens getting rounded up or even tortured in the process?
Operatives of the IRT, they're involved in all manner of abuses, torture, brutality.
Is this unit the answer to Nigeria's kidnap crisis, or just more of the same corruption and violence that has plagued policing here for decades?
Okay, wait first. Stay like that.
Northern Nigeria. Armed bandits roam the countryside on the outskirts of major towns and cities. For years, they have terrorized local highways, kidnapping and murdering. Thousands of people have been taken, millions of dollars in ransoms paid. Nigeria is facing a kidnapping epidemic, and anybody can be a victim anytime. I've come to Abuja to meet an elite police unit taking the fight to the kidnappers and to find out if they're the solution to one of the biggest problems facing my country. The Intelligence Response Team, or IRT, was set up specifically to tackle kidnapping and armed robbery. Combining old-fashioned detective work with the latest technology has allowed them to track down and capture a who's who of Nigerian kidnappers since 2015. As a reporter who has spent over a decade covering crime in Nigeria, I've been invited to spend 3 weeks embedded with this unit to see how they work firsthand.
You're welcome to the Intelligence Response Team office in Abuja.
Assistant Police Commissioner Sonny Ubwa is second in command of the IRT.
The way the structure of the IRT is that we have the headquarters and the command and control center in Abuja, but we have some offices in each geopolitical zone of the country. So this is where the coordination happens. So, yeah, morning, gentlemen.
The first stop on Sonny's tour of the unit's headquarters is the intelligence hub at the center of all its operations.
This is where all the analysis of the intelligence we generate is done. Then the product of this analysis is what we give to the team that goes out to the field for the actual operation.
What you're saying is that what gets out of this office can actually mean life or death for your men out in the field.
Definitely, definitely. Because if we miss a target here, they will fail in their mission. And we've recorded so far over 90% success in all the operations that we've had to carry out with the intelligence generated from here.
So there's no voodoo room somewhere?
Nowhere, no mystical powers, nothing. It's just young men and women dedicated to the duty, to their job, committed. So this is the secret, nothing more.
Thank you. Sonny's own dedication and nerve was severely tested in 2017 when his wife and baby daughter were kidnapped by bandits from the family home.
I was was really scared. It made me understand what happens to a family who has suffered kidnapping.
After working around the clock for 4 days, Sonny and his team say they captured the kidnappers and freed his wife and daughter.
Did that cement your confidence in your men to deliver at critical periods?
Look, it was a perfect operation. It was. It made me so proud. In fact, that was the aspect of the whole experience that gives me even more confidence, knowing that we can always get whoever. We can always get whoever, no matter where they think they are.
Back out in the yard, we cross paths with an ongoing investigation.
This is a unit on their way out again on a mission. These are freshly
suspects, sir.
Yeah, these are freshly arrested suspects, and the team is getting ready to move out with them for further arrest, to trace their gang members, or maybe to search their houses for weapons or wherever they say their weapons are. Yes.
IRT often offers suspects incentives in return for leading officers to the rest of the gang.
I want to show you something now.
Okay.
Yeah. These are some of the weapons that we have recently recovered from bandits.
Wow.
They are about to go into storage.
Okay.
These are chain bullets and a general purpose machine gun.
Wow.
All of this were recovered recently during an operation in Benue State. These are sacks of ammunitions. You can see them. All of them are recovered from hoodlums, along with hand grenades and tear gas canisters. We also have here a rocket launcher, which we also recovered from the bandits. So you can see the level of their weaponry. We don't even use this in the police. Yes, these are purely military hardwares. Yeah, you know, not too many people understand that this is what we face on a daily basis. Having to encounter people who are heavily armed and probably operating on hard drugs. So they're very daring with them, yes.
Sonny's insights are revealing. But I'm also anxious to meet IRT's #1 man, the unit's founder and leader, Deputy Police Commissioner Abba Kyari.
Hello, Commander. Yes, sir. How are you?
Really great to meet you, sir.
Metkunle is from the BBC.
He is the youngest high-ranking officer in the Nigerian police force. With an arrest sheet of notorious kidnappers and armed robbers that has earned him the nickname Nigeria's Jack Bauer, as well as a host of policing medals and commendations. When this place was set up, you were the first commander.
Yeah, sure. I am the pioneer commander, yeah.
What was the real idea? Was it felt that there is need for a unit that is solely based on intelligence?
Yes. You know, when this new administration came in, they decided that there should be a special unit that should be created, who are going to be trained on how to use intelligence to go out in the field and get the people arrested. So that the unit is named the Intelligence Response Team. You know, it's all about intelligence. So anybody that we're going to go after, we have to be sure of it before we go after the person. We just don't go blindly and arrest somebody, tip him. And it's very important to send the message to the criminals that Kyari and his people will follow you wherever you are, and they will never forget.
It's not long before I get a chance to see Abba Kyari in action. News is breaking of a major case in the troubled northwest state of Kaduna, one of Nigeria's main kidnapping hotspots. A traditional ruler in the southern part of the state has just been murdered in an apparent kidnapping gone wrong. The entire state has been placed under a 24-hour curfew. Abba Kyari has been charged by his superiors with traveling to the king's palace immediately and spearheading the investigation.
This kidnapping and the king has brought a lot of tension in the state. The whole country and the state are looking up to IRT to see that these guys are arrested and brought to justice. And we'll see to that.
The king initially looked like he will be handed back to his family after a ransom of 10 million naira or $30,000 was paid. But at the last moment, one of the kidnappers executed him instead with 2 gunshots to the head. On arrival at the palace, Abba Kyari is introduced to the late king's wife, Victoria Galadima, who was kidnapped alongside him, though she was later released. He asks how she was handled by the kidnappers.
This is the evidence of beating. I was tortured.
And mommy, they're like how many?
They were 9.
Even when they were going with you inside the bush?
Yes, they were 9 in number.
It's a high-profile case. The money I get to our solving case there. So the guy said that in the faru, haga abun da faru duk kasan nan sun ji kuma is very bad abu da aka yi. To shi yasa IG now directed zo mu shiga investigation din nan that we should trace where na duk inda suke mu samu su so that they will come and face justice. But abun da suke yi.
I believe the only thing you can do to give us the courage to believe that government is concerned is to fish out these perpetrators of this evil act.
Yes, sir.
And bring them to justice, as you have said. We therefore say thank you, and we hope that you do your work without fear or favor. Thank you very much for coming. You are welcome.
This case threatens to ignite ethnic tensions in an already volatile region of Nigeria. It's essential that IRT's actions are swift and decisive if retaliatory violence is to be avoided. The king's driver, Timothy Katari, was kidnapped alongside him and stayed with his chief to the end, narrowly escaping the same fate.
Shocking. You can see where the bullet entered and came out.
Now, Timothy is recovering from his injuries in hospital.
The police.
So say iskan bindiga sai sa na bude kofa sai na fadi kasa sai na
kwanta kasa.
Suka yi ta buga sarki da ne da madam muka shiga daji to dai already da ya riga mutu sai dogarin namu kuma sun mutu.
They were marched around 25 kilometers into the thick bush.
Yana da 100 million naira ya ba su za su sake shi. Sai mai gida na ce shi bai da kudi. Sai suka ce to sun san wurin da za su ji gaskiya. Sai sun zo suka tube ne da safe. Suka ta man duka baya.
After 5 days, the kidnappers reduced the ransom and allowed their victims to communicate with the chief's staff so the ransom could be delivered.
Sai suka ce to a kawo gudun sai aka ce to irin around 5 o'clock a kawo masu gudun. Sai suka ce mai gida yau za ka sha ruwa da driver dinga za ku tafi gida za ku sha ruwa muka ce mun gode. Suna ce to in haka dina ne muna jin musu mota a kwalta su bar mu za mu kai. To lokacin da ya same na nan ban ji ba. Kawai sai na ce wayo Allah sai na ga kawai sai ya wuna ma mai gida na kai kawai tau. Daga na ce ku duba nan aka duba nan aka ganga mai gida na yana kwance ga aji.
From what we discovered, altogether, like 8 people have been killed by this group in this very operation. So it's an extremely deadly group.
Do you think that this same group might have been involved in some brutal kidnapping in the past where they've killed people?
Yes, it's possible. You know, there are so many other kidnappings where people have been killed around Kaduna, all over. And it's all by this kind of people. I hope you understand.
Abba Kyari's investigation continues. We head out to the very stretch of road where 1 week earlier, Timothy, the king, and the king's wife were taken from their vehicle and marched into the bush, and where 4 of their entourage were murdered in cold blood. District Police Officer John Hammond was the first policeman to respond to the scene and witness the carnage the kidnappers had left behind.
What are we looking at right now?
They're coming from this side.
Yeah.
When they're coming from this side, the chief's vehicle stopped here.
Yeah.
So they orderly have noticed that there are armed robbers. So he removed his chevron from there. When he came here, they discovered that he's a policeman because the horse of the pistol is with him here. So when they noticed that, they drag him down and shoot him here.
Yeah, so, and you can see the spot where the bullet hit. Yes. You can see the small hole. So you can see that some people are already on the ground, and these guys went ahead to
shoot them in the head.
Shoot them and kill them. So it's very sad, very bad. But by God's grace, we're going to get them. They must surely answer for this thing. You can see the other one here, too. You can see the spot. This is where they just fired the first time.
I've never experienced this. It's my 30 years in the police. I'm telling you, it's too sad. Very, very sad.
Following a 6-month investigation, operatives from IRT arrested the suspected ringleader and charged him with the kidnapping and murder of the king. But for thousands of other Nigerians, the trauma of kidnapping is something they must face alone, with little hope that their abductors will ever be brought to justice. I've arranged to meet 2 men who were freed from a kidnapping ordeal just 1 week earlier.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Sir?
Good.
My name is Kunle.
I'm Paul.
Nice to
Welcome to my home.
Nice to meet you.
Please come in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Paul Dama and Spencer Nguto Tobago were kidnapped while driving along a major expressway. In recent years, Nigeria's highways have become high-risk kidnap zones.
I was the one driving, and it was around 4:30 p.m. We got to Ofu local government area in Kogi State. And then suddenly we heard a loud gunshot. And of course, I stepped off the accelerator. Then 4 or 5 of them came out from the bushes. All of them had AK-47 rifles, so the sound was quite loud. It was terrifying. They came out and were shooting sporadically in the air and pointing the guns at us in the car. And we came out of the car and they asked us to lie on the floor. And of course, at that moment, I felt that was the end for me because I had never seen a gun to my face like that, not so close.
Paul and Spencer were forcefully marched into the deep forest for hours. Their captors only allowed them to stop once they were around 20 kilometers from the main road. Escape was now impossible.
They now told us that we had been kidnapped and that we were going to call our families and friends to begin to send money because they only let us go after the payment of a ransom of 10 million naira each.
How did that make you feel?
I was scared. I was really, really scared because I started to imagine the trauma my family members were going to go through.
Their friends and family were unable to raise such a huge sum. For 2 days, they begged the kidnappers to lower their demands while Paul and Spencer were beaten and tortured, often while their relatives listened on the phone.
They meant business because they were beating us and they were very serious. They told us that this is no joke, this is no play, this is the business they do. In fact, at that point, the first night they told us that there's a shrine they have. When they want to kill you, they take you there and kill you.
Finally, the bandits agreed to 1 million naira in exchange for each of their lives. 4 days after they were lifted from the highway, a friend dropped the ransom cash off at the bandits' chosen location and both were released. They were lucky. In Nigeria, many kidnapping victims are killed by their captors, even after the ransom has been paid.
Are you the same person you were before you were kidnapped?
Absolutely not. It has really given me an entirely new perspective to life generally and what kidnapping in Nigeria is. So I think it's going to remain in my mind for a long time, I guess, before you. And I don't think it will ever go off.
I bet if you hear a gunshot now, it's
I'm going to be really, really scared. I don't even want to hear it.
1 week on from their release, Paul and Spencer's hopes for justice rest solely on the actions of Abba Kyari and his team.
I want them to face the full wrath of the law because if we don't comb these things away from our society, we're in for serious trouble.
Paul and Spencer were kidnapped leaving the town of Ampa, traveling along one of the highways that links Abuja with the major towns and commercial centers of northern Nigeria. We're on the same stretch of road Poland Spencer was taking from. IRT team leader Maji Mohammed has been assigned to investigate. What does each person get?
Of course, I'm the team leader.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative. You should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks. This and that. Slow speaking fast. I can roast, I can gas. Think I'm okay and that, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the
Based on Poland Spencer's victim statements, IRT suspects a known kidnapping gang from the Fulani is responsible for taking them. It's a high-risk operation, and the suspects have home advantage.
It's the most dangerous stretch of road in Nigeria. Yeah, it's among the most dangerous roads in Nigeria because these are, as you can observe, there's no human life existing within this area. These are thick forests. Very thick bush. So it's very, very dangerous because you never can tell when they come out and strike. And that's a bush hideout for the criminals.
According to IRT, 90% of kidnappers they've arrested in the past year have identified themselves as Fulani. Traditionally known as a peaceful people, the expansion of organized farming has driven the Fulanis off the pastoral lands they once grazed their cattle. Left destitute but accustomed to surviving in the thick forests which line the highways, they have found themselves drawn into and uniquely well equipped for kidnapping. IRT's intelligence team has pinpointed one of the key suspects in the case. The unlock is out of the bush and in town.
This is the perfect time to go after them because they are more relaxed now, they are not armed, they are within town, so we just need to go undercover. That's why I'm taking off my uniform. I don't want any identity or anything because we are going to fully on operation.
Its team goes straight into action and pick up the suspect. He's still in possession of the ransom phone. It even has a logo on the back associated with bandit groups based in the bush.
Mostly they use this
the big source
from the Fulani.
From the Fulani. They use for negotiation of the ransom. This is the phone.
This is a major breakthrough in tracking down Poland Spencer's kidnappers. The suspect appears ready to crack and gives up the man he says is the real mastermind behind the abduction. He's even prepared to set a trap.
My brother, the person who is not me, they are about that case.
Relax, calm down. Yeah, now, how we want to exist?
I go say that person where you will discuss about the cow. The person don't ready, you have to take seat.
The man makes several attempts to call the alleged ringleader, but his phone is switched off. That evening, he sees his missed calls and rings back.
Okay, where are they now? Otuko Road. Okay, for what girl we get yash. Okay, I dey come.
The team head out in an unmarked car, hoping to snatch the alleged ringleader. They find him in a bar with two other apparent gang members. The suspects are seized and taken into custody. The unit's main suspect is adamant he wasn't involved in the kidnapping. He says he's a simple cattle herder. Margie immediately tries to confirm the suspect's identity. He takes their photos and sends them back to the kidnapped victims.
I have his number. I just gave them some shots. I want him to identify them for me.
For now, there's already enough evidence to hold the suspects. These alleged bandits might be off the streets for now, but I can't help wondering whether these men will ever have access to a lawyer, or if their families have even been informed where they are. IRT might be effective, but there are worrying signs that due process isn't always top of their priority lists. The suspects are marched into the cells of a local police station. I want to get a better insight into what has driven young men across the country into joining these brutal kidnapping gangs. So I'm traveling south to where the kidnapping epidemic started, the oil-rich Niger Delta. It all started with the kidnapping of foreign oil workers, and when criminals realized how much money was involved, kidnapping spread nationwide. You get a sense of the danger once you enter the region, that kidnapping here can occur anywhere, anytime. In 2006, Niger Delta militant groups, angered by the unequal distribution of the region's oil wealth, began kidnapping foreign oil workers, plucking them from ships and refinery platforms on the high seas and holding them for huge ransoms. But what began as a protest soon spiraled into a multi-million-dollar criminal enterprise affecting Nigerians at all levels of society. And for a lot of young people here, kidnapping is not just a source of livelihood. It's a way of life, one they're willing to die or kill for. Through my contacts, I've managed to find an active kidnapper who is willing to talk. Like hundreds of other young men in the region, he made the journey from militant to professional kidnapper. He's insisted that we anonymize him as a condition of the interview. So what made you decide that this is the time to start kidnapping?
Before I stopped the kidnapping, federal government, they went and attacked one of my community. They killed my brother, killed my sister, killed my daughter before I joined the game. And everybody, they did not have water, they did not have light. Those people, they did not have any food to eat. And when my boys are hungry, they will call me, boss man, there is no money for us to feed. Let us go and fish. When we are going for kidnapping, we call it fishing. You understand?
The profits from kidnapping can be huge, but so are the dangers.
Everybody that joining this game know that one day you must die. So before you leave your house, you know that you have already signed your debt. It's a life and death game.
He insists whatever steps he's taken since, it has always been for the greater good.
The last kidnapping that I did last year, I get up to 700-something million naira. Now, when you go to my community, they have a standard light now, and my men, all of them are feeding very well. So anything that I'm doing, I am doing the sake of my boys.
How many people would you say that you've killed?
I have killed more than 50 persons.
It is actually tough to look into the eyes of someone who says to you that he has killed up to 50 people before. At every point in the interview, I was expecting to see some glimmer of remorse, but I didn't see that at any point in time. And this sort of gives me a better understanding of how tough the war against kidnapping must be in Nigeria. The outbreak, which started in the Niger Delta, has now spread to all corners of my country. But IRT's founder and leader, Commander Abakiari, insists his men can solve Nigeria's kidnap crisis. He wants to prove it to me. Just 1 year ago, this expressway linking Abuja with Kaduna, one of the commercial capitals of northwest Nigeria, was a national kidnap hotspot.
There are about 20 different groups. By and large, we have arrested about 18 of those groups. or even 19. There's only one group that is remaining. We have brought down kidnapping along this expressway from 10 kidnapping per day to less than 1 kidnapping in a month. Yes.
The cells of the local police station are filled with alleged Fulani kidnappers removed from the highway by Kiari's men over the last year. Young men like Habib, currently awaiting trial. Habib admits he ran with a kidnapping gang before his arrest by RT officers this year, and even to his involvement in the murder of 4 victims in one botched operation. But he says he had no choice. When you kidnap someone, what do you do to them? He describes how powerful Fulani tribesmen lured young men into committing criminal acts in return for payment, then use this to trap them into gang life. Once they have joined the gang, young men like Habib claim they must do whatever is asked of them or face dire consequences. How were you feeling when they were being killed, when they were being beaten and they were being killed?
Ya kaji lokacin da ake dukan su, sannan aka kashe su.
Gaskiya abun bai bani daɗi ba.
He said he felt somehow. He's not comfortable.
Shi da ya mutu ya zai sha wahala tunda ko ni head
Okay.
Now that particular operation where 4 people were killed, how much were you giving them?
Say 10,000.
So you got 10,000?
Yes, into 4.
Okay, for each victim.
For each victim.
So you got 40,000 naira. So kill 4 people. I can't believe that Habib was willing to conspire to kidnap and even murder his fellow citizens for just $25 a go. It shows just how desperate and poor these young Fulani men are. If you think back about what you've done now, do you feel bad about killing these people?
Idan ka tuna abin da ya faru, ya kake ji a jikin kana jin daɗi?
Domin Allah ba ni jin daɗi tunda da an je ya kira an tawa da ya yake san mu bugi mutum.
You see, he's not feeling happy, he's not comfortable.
Domin Allah
He's not comfortable. They just force him. They just force him to do that. They are not happy while carrying the kidnapping and killing.
But that's what they normally say when you catch them. You say there's a boss somewhere that is ordering him.
He's only bringing. See the family of these 4 people that your gang killed. What would you say to them?
Then say
so he will ask for forgiveness.
Habib's story is a familiar one to Abakari and his men. They have dealt with countless cases like this before, but the team also have their eyes on far bigger targets. I'm at the CID headquarters to meet a man who spearheaded what is seen as one of the unit's greatest victories.
They are responsible for the kidnapping of Chibok girls and several other kidnappings that has been carried out by the Boko Haram terrorists.
Sergeant Joseph Ulaju is nicknamed the Bushmaster after his multiple successes tracking kidnappers. But his biggest achievement is the capture of these alleged Boko Haram terror group members. One of them stands accused of kidnapping 276 schoolgirls from the town of Chibok in 2014. He's arranged for me to meet 2 of the suspects, Mainta Alaji Madu and Adam Mustafa. Mainta has already confessed to playing a key role in the kidnap of the schoolgirls.
Ne bundu kawai gonu danwa.
The militants transported the girls to fortified Boko Haram camps deep inside the Sambisa forest. Many were forced into marriage with senior militants. Others were raped on a daily basis throughout their captivity.
You said they are crying. The children are crying.
What did you think of yourself as being a kidnapper at that time?
You say it doesn't feel good.
Though he admits helping to kidnap the girls, Mainta insists he never took advantage of them. Are you aware that the girls were being raped?
No, I'm the last of the Seradon for the tunnel. Some of them, the senior members, they carry the girls.
Okay, but you see the leaders raping these girls all the time. But the second man, Adam Mustafa, certainly appears to have been involved in the exploitation of young vulnerable women. He says he was paid by Boko Haram to turn them into highly effective suicide bombers. When they kidnap them from villages, how do they prepare them to become suicide bombers?
They will bring them to closer to the city. Tramon. Then how many milligrams? 200 milligrams.
How many girls have you sent to her death like that?
Yatum Kwangandao, Yatum Nado, Yikama Sama. Dando. I like the man.
I'm the Omar or no, then you can buy a can.
Are you saying that after many years of operating in Boko Haram, you can't even account for how many people that you've killed?
Few are say it's more than 50.
I'm shocked by Adam Mustafa's confession, but IRT claimed to have connected him to no less than 133 suicide bombings in the town where he operated. Maiduguri. Interrogators believe the vast majority of those detonations were carried out by the victims of kidnapping. According to UNICEF, Boko Haram have kidnapped more than 1,000 children in northern Nigeria since 2013. So for every girl that you send to carry a bomb and send to her death, how much do you get paid?
You do it because of the money alone.
Yet he himself is still asking for clemency. It's a story I've heard from most of the kidnappers I've met. I was forced to do it. I had no choice. But their victims may not find it so easy to forgive and forget. On my final day embedded with the unit, Commander Abakiari wants us to meet a family who know all about the cost of bringing Adam and young men like him to justice.
Where we're heading to now is the house of one of our late Inspector Maman. He's one of the gallant officers that was killed during one of the anti-kidnapping operations. He died directly in the line of duty. In fact, this is the saddest moment since the unit was created.
IRT's successes have come at a heavy price. Since the unit was formed, 12 officers have died in shootouts with armed criminals. We walk through a series of dusty streets till we come to the house of the IRT officer's widow. Fatima Abdullahi and her 4 children live in a small dwelling and are struggling to get by.
Zan ce mishi to an yanayin aikin ku ne ya ce wallahi shi in dai zai fita saboda in dai za a fita zai kira ce to kuma na addu'a ba za mu fita ko a kashe mu ko mu kashe shi ka'idan aiki wallahi ko a cikin gida in gida ma sun sani in dai zai dawo zai tafi sai ya tsaya tsaka gida ce to matan gida to ni na ba shi goyon baya tabbas saboda shi gaskiya mutum ne in dai aiki ne gaskiya.
Fatima should be due a state pension as her husband was killed in the line of duty. But 4 months after his death, no financial support has arrived.
Akwai taimakon da za a mana gaskiya muna roƙon alfarma a taimaka mana din. Yake dan bamu abin da muke ci, muke dan yin wasu abubuwa makarantar yara duka yanzu duk ya tsaya yanzu duk ba sa yi. makaranta ko me yake zai bari ya zo. Inda ya shafi makaranta saboda zai ce shi yana so yaran shi su karatu. Inda yanzu taimakon da muke nema gaskiya dan taimaka mana mu dan samu inda dai zamu zauna da yaran tun da dai ƙanana ne ba mu da kuma wani abin yi gaskiya. Tun da dai Allah yawan bai gida na rasuwa gaskiya na samu matsaloli da yawa na rayuwa.
According to Abba Kyari, this state of affairs is all too common for public servants in Nigeria, and one of the key obstacles to creating a better police force nationally.
For the country to take care of our heroes is very, very, very important, because this will increase tremendously the morale of the men out there in the field. When they see that if they are injured, the government will take good care of them, get the best medical treatment. If they can see that their colleagues that died in the line of duty, their families have been taken care of by the government, you will see that those men in the field will be ready to fight for their country, will be ready to stand for their country, and they will be ready to take a bullet for their country.
I've seen considerable evidence of how effective IRT has been in combating kidnapping gangs in the north. But in another parts of the country, worrying reports are emerging. I've come to Lagos to meet June, not her real name. Her husband was a suspect in a major kidnapping case under investigation by IRT. In a bid to get to him, a group of IRT officers allegedly picked June up off the streets. She claims they then tried to force her to give up her husband's location by subjecting her to false imprisonment, torture, and degrading treatment for several days.
On that very day, in the morning, I got an SMS that I have a DHL parcel. And I didn't call the number because I know that I'm not expecting any parcel from anybody. They called back again. They asked me the closest bus stop to my area. I told them it's Olowonla bus stop. They said, okay. So when I got there, I saw 4 men. They are not in uniform, they are on mufti. They said that I should enter the car. I said, I don't know you people. How can you just come? So all of them, they just hit me, bundled me inside the car. They brought out a gun and said they are going to shoot me if I don't close my mouth.
June says the IRT officers drove her to the Lagos State Police headquarters. There, they placed her in a cell alongside other prisoners.
They now say that they want my husband. I said, he's not around. So, I'm not my husband. Why should you come and pick me just like that? That they should please leave me, let me go. That I have a baby, a 1-year-plus baby. They say no, that they are not going to release me, that I'm going to stay there for 4 months. And I'm begging them, please, can I make call and call my people? They say no, that I'm not going to make any call, that nobody will know where I am, that I will rot in the cell there. I say rot in the cell, that please, for the sake of my baby, please, can I go? If I just mention it, they will start beating me.
Periodically, officers will take her out of the cell to an office inside the station, where June claims they will interrogate and torture her. The final time this happened was, she says, the most brutal.
They now brought me out and took me to the Oga's office again and said that I lied to them. So they beat me up like 5 policemen. One of them hit me. You can see a scar there, here. One of them hit me on the forehead, here. That was when I fainted, when blood started splitting all their office.
How did it make you feel, being in custody and not knowing what in particular you've done wrong?
I feel so bad. I never know that somebody will come and pick somebody that didn't do anything or have any connection with any crime at all in her life, because all my life I've not been to a police custody in my life.
And while you were in custody, what sort of treatment did you see was meted out to other inmates that were inside the cell with you?
They used to hang them. They would tie their hand back, tie their leg, and hang them up. So blood.
Are you saying they hang women like that? They hung women like that?
Yes. That the blood will just enter your eyes, your head, everything. When they hang you, anything they ask you, you say yes. Even if they tell you that you kill your father, you kill your mother, you say yes.
Are you sure that the IRT members were the ones who did this?
They are the ones who did it. They are the ones.
It's impossible for us to verify whether IRT officers did indeed engage in these horrific punishments. June has turned to local civil society group, the Network on Police Reform in Nigeria, or NOPRIN, in a bid to get justice. Okechukwu Nwaguma is NOPRIN's national coordinator. He says June's experience reflects a regular pattern of behavior by IRT officers operating out of Lagos.
The truth is that IRT has been able to crack a very good number, very high numbers of, violent crimes, armed robbery, kidnapping, and because of that, Nigerians always see IRT, particularly Abakari, as a hero, but many Nigerians are not aware, or even if they are aware, they're willing to overlook the excesses, the way IRT treats criminal suspects while in their custody, and which for us is an issue of major concern.
Now, what has your findings unearthed about the way they treat suspects?
Torture, enforced disappearances, and then trying to force relatives of some of their suspects to confess, sometimes they even write statements for them and compel them to sign.
How complicit would you say that the leadership of IRT is in all these things you've talked?
Don't have any evidence that Abakari as a person has been involved, but officers under him have been involved, and these have been brought to his attention, but he hasn't done enough, in our view, to address the particular officers whose names keep coming up, to bring them to account.
A lot of Nigerians who may not understand your motive will say, why are you so concerned about fighting for the side of the criminal suspects rather than fighting for the welfare of those who go out to look for them?
We are not necessarily fighting on the side of criminal suspects. What we're saying is that they go about abusing legally established arrest and detention procedures. For instance, when you arrest somebody, if you must allow the person access to family, access to lawyer, access to Medicare. You don't detain indefinitely and fail to charge the person to court. So that's the point we're making. If somebody is arrested as a criminal, charge the person to court. Don't violate basic human rights. That is the point we're making.
The testimony I've heard in Lagos is alarming. So on my return to Abuja, I arranged a final meeting with Commander Abakari. I want to ask him directly about allegations that some of his men are involved in widespread human rights abuses.
You have offices or facilities all over the country. Is it a challenge controlling your men, many of whom have been accused of human rights abuses?
Okay, we have been handling hundreds of cases, and then when you get case complaint about 2, 3, 4 cases, then you expect us to have 0 complaint. I hope you understand. And any complaint that comes to us, we look into it. If we see that our officer is found wanted, we normally take action on him. If you find out that somebody has been arrested for armed robbery and kidnapping, yes, you listen to him, but you investigate whatever you hear from him. Don't believe him just like that. All those guys that have been killing innocent citizens, they want to continue, but who stopped them? We risked our lives to stop them from killing, to stop them from making money from innocent citizens that they have been killing. And do you think they will like us? These are things they do in order to try to get freedom. And they will go and still talk that they were tortured, they were this, they were that. All lies. No criminal wants to be convicted. Let them prove it. I hope you understand.
What you said just now brought to mind one of the cases, one of the people who came to us, the wife of a suspect.
This is the same case I'm talking to you about.
Actually, what the woman said was that she was tortured. They actually strung up some suspects in custody, that she was detained in Lagos.
They have to write all these lies. The kidnappers' family have to write all these things for you people to listen to them. There's nothing that I hate so much in my life that an innocent person to complain against me. But if a criminal will go and complain against me, let him complain. I'm ready to fight that criminal to the last. Let him prove it. I hope you understand. When you fight crime, the same criminals will fight back
I hope you understand. We know it. Before we came out to fight the crime, we know that they will fight back. So we are ready for them.
Speaking with the commander, I came to realize that this unit is not immune to the allegations of human rights abuses, which have been something associated with the Nigeria police for many years. I also realized that this war is very tough. This unit is led by a very determined man, but is operating in a broken system where corruption is endemic.
The threat of kidnapping has now become a fact of life for most Nigerians. It may take us generations to address the issues that have turned so many of our young men into violent criminals. But for now, what Nigerians desperately need is a police force that can bring the rule of law back to our country.